Now to presidential politics back home, and we welcome Virginia Governor Tim Kaine, who is believed to be under serious consideration to be Barack Obama's running mate. He's in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia this morning for a governor's conference. And Governor, unless you want to announce that you have been chosen as Obama's running mate or you want to withdraw your name from consideration, I will not force you to do the obligatory dancing around that question and go directly to the news.
Thanks, Bob. Let's go right to the news.
All right. Well, this morning headlines tell it all. American presidents, as we look at this situation going on in Russia, have to deal with problems that sometimes don't come up at all in campaigns. So I guess my question this morning, Governor, is when we see what's happening today, won't that bolster John McCain's argument that the presidency needs someone with experience dealing with issues like these?
Bob, I think the two concerns that Americans have are the state of our economy and our security at home and abroad. And this issue in Georgia obviously raises great questions. But I think as we look at security, what Americans most want is judgment. Experience is only positive insofar as it creates good judgment. And I think Senator Obama's strong case to the American people is that he will have the right judgment about how to balance America's military force with strong diplomacy to protect our interests abroad. He has spoken very strongly about the need to protect Georgia's integrity and sovereignty, has called on Russia to cease fire in the region and called on the international community to begin talks to protect Georgian sovereignty. But I think Americans really, and I know Virginians better than those in other states, what we want is judgment.
You know, in order to be a good president, you have to get yourself elected president. And I'm hearing even some Democrats say that Barack Obama ought to be doing better right now than he seems to be doing. These latest polls, Gallup has Obama and McCain very, very close, as does the latest Rasmussen poll. With the Republican Party kind of in the shape it's in right now, is Barack Obama's message just not getting through, or what seems to be going on here in your judgment?
Well, Bob, I would rather not spin Barack's lead in the polls as anything negative. I mean, he's ahead in the polls. And in Virginia, take Virginia, but not by much, that's true. But look, take Virginia as an example. Virginia is a state that has not gone Democratic in a presidential election since 1964. The average of recent polls has Barack Obama narrowly ahead in Virginia, which is basically astounding. I think the Obama campaign has had a healthy underdog attitude since I signed on to be a national co-chair in February 2007. They've always thought this would be tough. They've always thought it would be close. But we are feeling very, very good about where the senator is in the polls. And we obviously expect, as the American electorate turns their attentions even more to this race in connection with the conventions, we expect to do quite well.
We're hearing some Democrats like Chuck Schumer, the senator from New York, say that Obama is going to have to hit back harder at some of these ads that John McCain is running. Do you think he needs to hit back harder? What would you advise him to do from here on?
Well, some of the ads that Senator McCain had been running, I just scratch my head at them, Bob. I mean, they really kind of seem out of touch with what the issues are. The whole ad about the Paris Hilton and the celebrity thing. I mean, it was funny, but wearing a clown suit and juggling would be funny too. But it doesn't connect with the concerns Americans have about gas prices, about the war, about the economy. So I think on things like that, shoot, I hope the McCain camp does more of those ads, and we'll just let him do those ads. Senator Obama has shown that he's a very tough campaigner. He doesn't take a punch. He doesn't take anything lying down. But he always will spin it back to positives because he's got a positive message and a positive record. And what Americans want to hear is about solutions. Look at the ads that the two campaigns are running during the Olympics. I mean, this kind of wonderful athletic event, Senator Obama's running positive ads touting his particular vision for America, and Senator McCain is running the same old negative Karl Rove-style ads that we're all tired of. So I think that just shows a campaign that's a little bit out of touch with what Americans want to hear about right now. The Senator Obama will be as tough as he needs to be, but he's got to always bring it back to the positive, and that's what he's so good at.
Let's talk about the Democratic convention that's coming up. There's been a lot of hand-wringing about what to do about or with Hillary Clinton. Are the Clintons going to be really out there supporting Barack Obama? When Kate Snow of ABC News interviewed Bill Clinton the other day, he gave a kind of peculiar answer, it seems to me. Let me just run this, and you can listen to it here.
Is he ready to be president?
You could argue that no one's ever ready to be president.
Does it matter if Bill Clinton is going to be out there campaigning for Barack Obama? Will he be out there? And what do you make of this sort of tepid reaction we're hearing here?
Well, Bob, I have a great feeling, again, in Virginia. I see the forces, all the Democratic forces, whoever they were supporting before, coming together. And the Clinton camp and Obama camps have come together very well in Virginia. You know, look, competition can create some challenging feelings, but the Democrats have shown again and again that we get on board and that we work together. The stakes are very, very high. I know that both Senator Clinton and President Clinton will have key roles in the convention. And I expect that once we're there, that everybody's going to be together in a great way to do a historic job of turning out Democratic voters and also independent and disgruntled Republican voters for Barack Obama in November.
Well, I mean, do you have the feeling, though, that there may be too much Clinton at this convention? Hillary Clinton, we're now told, will speak on Tuesday. That will be her night. Bill Clinton will speak the next night. If this convention turns out to be some sort of nostalgic look back at what might have been, is there a danger of that happening, or do you think that they actually will come together and that the Clintons will campaign hard for Barack Obama?
Bob, I think we definitely will come together. I mean, again, you see the Democrats, I think, as unified now, and you'll see us unified going into November as you've ever seen us. There will be historic turnout, I believe, of Democratic voters. And I don't think there's too much, there's a danger of there being too much of the Clinton family at the convention. It's important that we acknowledge Bill Clinton as a great former president. It's important that Senator Clinton's public service record and her historic candidacy be acknowledged. The convention will also feature a great tribute to the Kennedy legacy and a focus on Ted Kennedy, who we've all kept in prayer as he's recovered from his illness. And so, sure, look, lionizing and appreciating the great leaders of the party is something that we always do at these conventions, and this one will be no different. But it is all part of a unified effort. We see the Democrats unified in Virginia as never before, and I see it across the nation.
Good thing or bad thing, allow Hillary Clinton's name to be placed in nomination, even though she knows she's not going to get the nomination?
You know, Bob, I'll tell you this. I am not a great student of all the procedures and mechanics of things that should happen or shouldn't happen in the rules of the convention. And so I'm going to leave that to the convention tacticians. I'm just a guy who's trying to be a good governor and trying to spread the word about Barack Obama to the general electorate. I think some of the internal decisions about how a convention operates, they don't really resonate that much outside of the convention hall. And so I'll leave those decisions to people who really have that as their expertise.
Would you advise her to tell her people to kind of back off on this or to press forward?
Well, here's what I see in Virginia. You know, we had our Virginia State Convention in mid-June, probably about 2 weeks after the primary season was effectively over. And I just saw a great unification of the Obama and Clinton camps. I think I read something in maybe the New York Times this morning about, people switching their T-shirts. The Clinton T-shirts switching out for Obama T-shirts, and they're going like hotcakes. And, I really sense that our party is getting together and unifying. And the other thing about it that I think is exciting is in Virginia, where we don't register by party, where the real game in any statewide election or federal election is independent voters, I just see great strength for Obama among our independent voters, among our military voters. In Virginia, 1 in 10 Virginians are veterans. We've got a huge number of active duty reservists and families. And people are really appreciating Barack's message that we need a civilian leadership that is as excellent as the servicemen and women and the contributions they make.
Well, thank you, Governor, and we appreciate you being here. Hope to see you again.